Today's video is going to be a free-for-all, maybe I should say saw-for-all, shootout between 5 popular folding saws. My name is Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. Thanks for joining me. So, as I said, today's video is going to be kind of a free-for-all between 5 popular folding saws. Got the Bahco Laplander, I want to cut myself here, the Coleman Folding Saw, got the Fiskars Folding Saw, the Corona Folding Saw, and the Silky Gomboy. I'm going to check them all out together, just do a kind of a free-for-all, shootout comparison, overall look, and hope you like it. Let's get to it. Okay, just to give you the quick setup here, got a piece of dead dogwood that I found down. And if you've seen any of my other videos, especially some of my axe videos, you know that dead dogwood is super hard stuff. So just want to show you where we're at here. I'm going to try to be as fair as I can about this and cut. We've got a pretty consistent piece here with the same diameter, close to the same diameter up and down. So we're going to see how long it takes to go through it with each different saw. I'm going to do this with no cutaways and no edits in the cutting, just so there's no hanky-panky, and you'll see what's going on. Once again, this is the Bahco. I'm going to hold this thing down, start my timer, and start cutting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, next we're going to go with the Coleman Folding Saw, and just so you can see, there's no shenanigans there. That's solid hardwood there. So we're just going to cut a little bit of it off, so we try to keep the same diameter as much as possible. Go. Okay, we're going to take a look at the Fiskars here. Let's see how well it does. Go. Okay, now the Corona. Go. Okay, now for the Corona. And go. Okay, well that was the little free-for-all, and I think it's the clear winner by a pretty good margin was the Silky Gomboy 210. This may become my new personal favorite. It's a little bit bigger than the Bahco. You can see when they're folded up, not a lot of difference in size. You can see that, real close to the same, but definitely got a little longer blade. It definitely just really cut like butter. I mean, it cut a lot easier. That was some really hard dogwood. Pretty good for the old Silky. You know, I kind of wish it had a locked close, but it stays closed pretty well. I don't think there's a lot of danger of this popping open in your pack. You know, maybe after it gets kind of broken in and used, it might kind of loosen up, but it's got a pretty good little adjustment screw here. You can keep it tight if you need to. So, Silky Gomboy was definitely #1 as far as speed and ease of cutting. It's a very comfortable handle. It's also the most expensive of the saws, so there you go, right? #2 definitely was the Corona. And just by a margin, it was a little bit faster than the Bahco and the Fiskars, which were about even. So it's got the number 2 spot for the speed and ease of cutting, and I actually really like the fact it locks both closed, which it does open a little bit, but so did the other one, and it's got a push button lock on it. I just kind of like that system. It's like a pretty decent deal. Cuts really good. Got a comfortable ergonomic handle, so probably the second most expensive at around 22, 23 bucks. Close to the same price as the Bahco, close to the same performance as the Bahco. I think you can't go wrong with either one of these. So, but there again, the Corona it did beat the Bahco by about a second. Obviously, this is not a scientific test. I don't have a force meter or anything to determine how much force is being applied, but just using my my perceptions, I think this one cut just fine. And actually, I'd already cut 3 other cuts with it, so if anything, I was a little bit tireder, but it still did just fine. So, number 3, in my opinion, pretty closely matched between the Bahco and the Fiskars. I do think that I like the way the Fiskars locks. Bahco does the same thing. I do like the fact that Bahco's just got a push button. Makes it a little easier to operate. Fiskars, you have to actually pull this thing out and lock it back in, but it's also a very positive lock. I can tell you that I broke the lock on my Fiskars, or someone else broke the lock on my Fiskars by trying to open it or close it without it being locked, and I've taken it apart and tried to fix it and I can't. So this seems like a little simpler system. But Fiskars, it's going to be around probably 13, 14 bucks, I think is what the price of this was. So it's less money most likely than the Bahco. If you look for a lower budget option, this might be a good one. And last, and definitely last, as far as last place, as far as the speed, as far as the quality, I think, and also as far as the price, is the Coleman. This thing's under 10 bucks, so I can't say it's not worth the money because it is very, very low priced. And the only thing I really don't like about it is this locking system, is that, you know, you pop that lock open and this just closes, and there's no lock to close the blade, right? And I did a review of this saw individually, but when you pop it open, what I found is you go to lock the blade, you catch it in that little groove, you kind of put it in there, so it gets in the groove right up here. And then if you'll notice, watch this thing. Just watch, see if it does it for you. You see that pop out right there? It's done it to me every single time. The little thing catch pops out of the hole there. And it's a pain in the neck's what it is. So, you know, maybe this is just one saw, the one defective saw, but I mean, and you can put it back in and it seems to work, but you know that, again, it's under 10 bucks. So if you look for a really low budget option, this might be it, but I'll tell you the truth. For just a couple more bucks, you can get this, which in my opinion is a better saw. This one cuts on the push and pull, but this one seems to be made a lot better. So your choice is yours. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking for a good folding saw, I know the Bahco is like, this is a Dave Canterbury's favorite. This is a great saw, there's nothing wrong with it. I've been carrying this one for a couple of years. You can see it's got a little wear on it. You can't go wrong with a Bahco, but I don't think you can go wrong with many of these other ones either. It's about your price and what you like better. But again, if you want to go ahead and spend 30 bucks, this one here seems like it's probably the best in my opinion. So, oh, and by the way, if you want to see some more details on these saws, I did individual reviews on every one of these saws, and I've got go over the specs in a little more detail and talk more about each specific model. I'll put links to those below. Be sure and check them out if you're interested in one of these saws. This is more, I just really wanted to kind of show you a heads up, free for all kind of comparison in this video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up down below. Let Google know you like outdoor videos. Please share with your friends. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can check out the Amazon links below. There will, of course, be a link to all these saws individually. I'll put them on my Amazon store also. I really appreciate all your support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.